of the bottle, I've been drowning, I've been floating away. Every other dollar that I got in bed, I probably went and did away. I ain't f***ing okay, I ain't liking it, babe. I don't even wanna talk, I'm just smoking my haze. I've been stuck in my ways, I've been stuck in for days. I've been staring at the clock as the radio plays. I'm enslaved. Yeah. Rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat for the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family, from a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down, make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Oh my devil, when I do nothing to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's your stuff.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's everyone doing on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon? What I want to get into today is how many times are we going to be lied to exactly where the bodies were found of Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan. Now, we've heard from the coroner, Kathy Mabbitt, that they were all asleep when they were stabbed, and they were all found in their beds. But that's not the case. And I'll explain why. It totally throws her little theory out the window with some of the later stuff in the PCA. It states exactly where the bodies were found. And they were not in the beds. Now, Kaylee and Maddie were in the bed. Ethan was in the bed, but Xana was not in her bed. Through Xana's driver's license and other personal belongings found in the room was Xana Kernodle's hereafter Kernodle's room. Just before this room, there was a bathroom door on the south wall of the hallway. As I approached the room, I could see a body later identified as Kernodle laying on the floor. That's not what Kathy Mabbitt had stated. She had stated that they were all in their beds asleep. Kernodle was deceased with wounds which appeared to be have caused by a edged weapon. And that's another thing Mabbitt said. Mabbitt said they were all stab wounds. Also in the room was a male later identified as Ethan Chapin, hereafter Chapin. Chapin was also deceased with wounds later determined. Autopsy report provided by Spokane County Medical Examiner Veena Singh, dated December 15th, 2022, caused by sharp force injuries. Okay, which one is it, Kathy Mabbitt? Is it they were all stabbed in their beds, or exactly what's going on here? Because clearly, Kaylee and Maddie were stabbed. Ethan and Xana were not stabbed. They both had different injury patterns. Xana's were from an edged weapon. Ethan's was sharp force injuries. I then followed OFC Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. The third floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The bathroom was on the west side of the floor, was later determined to be Kaylee Gonzalez's, hereafter Gonzalez room. I later learned from a review of Officer Nunez's body camera, there was a dog in the room when MPD officers initially responded. The dog belonged to Gonzalez and her ex-boyfriend, Jack Decor. I found out from Corporal Payne's interview with Jack Decor on November 13th, 2022, that he and Gonzalez shared the dog. OFC Smith then pointed out a small bathroom on the east side of the third floor. The bathroom shared a wall with Madison Mogan, hereafter Mogan's bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the third floor. As I entered this bedroom, I could see two females in a single bed. Both Gonzalez and Mogan were deceased with visible stab wounds. I was later advised by ISP investigators that they located a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Mogan's right side when viewed from the door. The sheath was later processed and had a K-bar USMC and United States Marine Corps Eagle Globe and anchor insignia stamped on the outside of it. Okay, we've heard Brett Payne state that he was the one that found the knife sheath when clearly he wasn't. It was the ISP investigators that found the knife sheath. But see, what I would like to know, guys, is how can one man go into a house with 6 people That's the conundrum here. There were 6 people in that house. And like we've all heard before, Xana was up and watching TikTok and had her DoorDash. And then we've heard the reports from Dylan. Opened her door 3 different times that night. After the 3rd time, she allegedly or supposedly saw the killer walking through the house, which I don't think he did it. I don't think he did it at all. Based on numerous interviews conducted by MPD officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents, as well as my review of evidence, I have learned through the following. On the evening of November 12, 2022, Chapin and Kernodle are seen by BF at Sigma Chi House on the University of Idaho campus at 735 Nez Perce Drive from approximately 9 p.m. And also stated that Chapin did not live in the King Road residence, but was a guest of Kernodle. Gonzalez and Mogan were at a local bar at the Corner Club. Gonzalez and Mogan can be seen on video footage provided by the Corner Club between 10 p.m. on November 12th and 1:30 on November 13th. At approximately 1:30, Gonzalez and Mogan can be seen on video at a local food vendor called the Grub Truck. The Grub Truck live streams videos from their food truck on the streaming platform Twitch, which is available for public viewing on their website. The video is captured by law enforcement. A private party reported that they provided a ride to Gonzalez and Mogan at approximately 1:56 from downtown Moscow in front of the Grub Truck to the King Road residence. Okay, now here's something else that baffles me. You know, we've heard that Mogan and Gonzalez arrived back at home at 1:45, but her sister Olivia said they got home at 1:56. Well, it states here that they didn't get picked up from the Grub Truck until 1:56. So, which one is it? Because if they got picked up at 1:56, they wouldn't be at home at 1:56. It'd be like a little after 2, would it not? because it says right here, a private party reported that he provided a ride to Gonzalez and Mogan at approximately 1:56 from downtown Moscow in front of the grub truck to the King Road residence. DM and BF both made statements during interviews that indicated the occupants of the King Road home were at home by 2 a.m. and asleep or at least in their rooms at approximately by 4 a.m. This is with the exception of Kernodle, who received a DoorDash order at the residence at approximately 4 a.m. Law enforcement identified the DoorDash delivery driver who reported this information. DM stated she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the southeast side of the second floor. DM stated she awoken at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Gonzalez playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were located on the third floor. That could be a possibility, guys. That could be a very big possibility. Just like the video yesterday, I put out. There could have been only one target in the house because the killer came in through the sliding glass door, went straight upstairs to Maddie's room. So that would mean Maddie was the target. And Kaylee heard a commotion, came out of her bedroom, went to Maddie's room, saw that her best friend was being murdered, went to try to stop it, fought with the attacker, and she ended up getting killed herself. Because if you think about it, guys, Kaylee had more brutal injuries than Maddie. She had her injuries were more brutal. So if that's the case, she wouldn't be fighting for her life laying on her back. If her injuries are more brutal than Maddie's, that means that she interrupted Maddie's life being taken. So the killer or killers gets mad because he was interrupted killing his intended target, which was more than likely Mogan. So he takes it out on Kaylee by giving her more brutal injuries than Maddie. And that still don't answer why, after killing Maddie and Kaylee, he doesn't just leave the house right away. Or does he? Try to. He could have went there to do what he had to do, encountered Xana or Ethan, and they saw him. Xana could have saw him, and he chased her down and killed her because, like it says in the PCA, she was found on the floor. And then he went on and killed Ethan because Ethan woke up and saw him. But that still don't explain why Dylan and Bethany were left alive. Because if you think about it, guys, if you really think about it, he more than likely only came in there for one target, because when he came in, he didn't check or go to any of the other doors. He went straight for Maddie's room. So he went up there to kill his intended target, got discovered by Kaylee, killed her more brutally than he did Maddie, because he was more likely enraged that he got caught taking his target's life. So he ended up being more brutal with Kaylee, went to leave out the back sliding glass door, ran into Kernodle, who he then chased down and killed her uh, because her body was laying on the floor. Then he proceeded to kill Ethan, and then he left because he thought that no one else saw him. But Dylan gave a description of the attacker, even though it's a generic description. 5'10" or taller, athletically built, not muscular, and bushy eyebrows, which is a generic description of half the town of Moscow. Because if we looked on the alcohol stop on the Banfield, the first one that they stopped, Saeed, he had bushy eyebrows. And then don't forget the poor people running from the vicinity of the King Road home about 3:14 in the morning. But apparently that doesn't matter to the MPD. This is the only person that matters, because he didn't come into the vicinity of the King Road home till 3:29, even though you had all those things going on around the house between 2:54 and 3:16. But that doesn't matter to Brett Payne, Blake, or anybody on the Moscow Police Department. To them, this is the only guy that matters. But they still don't explain, guys. They say this was a targeted attack. We've heard it. Oh, this was a targeted attack. This was an isolated attack. Well, it very well could have been. But the target was Maddie. Not Kaylee, not Xana, not Ethan. The target was more than likely Maddie, because the killer didn't go to Dylan's room, didn't go to Xana's room, didn't go to Bethany's room, didn't go to Kaylee's room. He went straight to Maddie's room. So Maddie was the intended target, because he went straight to her room. And then he got discovered more likely by Kaylee, and she started fighting him because he was murdering her best friend / sister. Once he killed her, his intention was more than likely to leave the house. But then he was discovered by Xana, who more than likely heard what was going on upstairs. Dylan never came out of her room. Bethany never came out of her room. Dylan opened her door 3 times, but she never came out of her room. So more like what happened, the killer was leaving the house. Xana saw him. The killer didn't want no witnesses, so he chased after Xana, killed her because she was found on the floor, killed Ethan, and then left. One intended target, 3 casualties, because they saw him. Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan were collateral damage because they all 3 saw him. Kaylee saw him killing Maddie, so he killed her. He was leaving. Xana saw him coming down the stairs or in the common area. He chased after her, killed her. Then he killed Ethan. And not knowing that there was 2 more roommates in the house, Dylan and Bethany, and because killing four people, his adrenaline it was probably rushing. Dylan was lucky that he didn't see her because he would have killed her too. She saw him, allegedly. He didn't see her. But it just makes you think, could it have been someone that they knew? Could it have been someone that they all knew? Because if you think about it, earlier on that evening, Xana and Ethan got into a fight with a frat boy because the frat boy was hitting on Xana. And then miraculously, Xana and Ethan are dead the next morning. And you saw four people running away from the vicinity of the house at 316. I don't think that they were killed at 4. I think they were killed earlier. I think they were killed earlier. Honestly, do. Because one man can't control 6 people. Because he didn't know if they all were asleep or if some of them were awake. And you can see Maddie's bedroom from the back because she has her pink boots and her M in her window. So if anybody else in that house was the target, the killer would have went to each individual bedroom and not walk in the house and go straight to Maddie's room. Maddie was the target. Kaylee, Ethan, and Xana were the casualties. Yes, they were. They were the casualties. Kaylee was protecting her best friend. She lost her life for it. Which is always a good thing to protect your friends. You know, no matter what the circumstance is, it just goes to show you how much she loved Maddie. I mean, they were best friends since 6th grade. And they both died together that night. And then you had the killer leaving the house. And then Xana more likely caught him as he was leaving. And because she saw him that night, she lost her life. Yeah, she did. She lost her life because she saw a killer. And this is why we do it. Justice for the Idaho 4. Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan. 4 young adults gone too soon in such a heinous and horrific crime. Like always, guys, like, comment, subscribe to my channel, share my channel, hit that bell notification for any new uploads. And I will be on Kiki's live stream tonight. Y'all have a good Wednesday afternoon. This is Robert with True Crime Podcast. I'm out. Peace.
Blood of the nation, we need saving. Truth and demons, redemption to lose. Archangel, our angels ain't coming. No way. Oh, holy water wash us all. Oh, brothers, sisters, sing our song and keep singing. Oh, together we are.